It's really got to be drilled. When we talk about a low single leg,
So I've been watching a lot of Valiev. I think he got third at the Olympics. Kind of got screwed against Zamalov in their Olympic match, but that's for another time. But what I kept seeing was him get on the edge of the mat in the zone and just not getting scored on, like ever. I mean, he just gets backed up to the edge, grounds himself, holds position, and then the ref either blows it up or he wrestles back to center or scores. It's actually kind of crazy how often I saw him on the edge and not getting scored on. I mean, he gave up a couple cautions every now and then, but that's mostly just for backing to the edge instead of like going out. He hardly ever goes out. All right, so here we see him get backed up to the edge. And the first thing to notice is that as soon as, it's hard to see here, but like as soon as he starts to get close, he'll drop his hands. But he's not allowing the guy to cover full front headlock here. All right, so they're kind of in this quad pod type position, drops a knee, really good at recovering angles, and you have to be if you're going to wrestle on the edge like this. So we see a little bit of a misdirection attempt from Chamizo. He goes right, then back left, and Valiev matches it, squares back up. Now his head's underneath, but he keeps it center. And now that they're in this position, and Chamizo kind of lets his head out. Now, we see this a lot, or I see this a lot in this position, head on shoulder or collarbone. That way you can kind of have head position, keep them away without getting your head covered. Then you have options to go up or drop head underneath or circle or kind of whatever. All right. But this is his pretty normal position, right? He stays on both knees. I don't recommend it. It's probably just literally an edge of the mat thing where he's on both knees. He puts his toes in the mat so that he doesn't get slid out of bounds. And then his fingers point out. That helps his elbows stay rotated back so that guys can't really extend or get over his arms very much. All right. And then the attacker in this position, kind of is at a loss at what to do. It's really hard to get them stood back up to get a step out. It's really hard. You basically get no points if you just push them straight out while they're on their knees. And then running a corner either lets them circle back in or makes you step out, right? So if he starts running this direction and then Valiev circles away and then drives in, he could very easily get stepped out, right? So, again, head position, pretty normal. And then if you don't get pushed out here, the ref's going to blow you back up, right? So, kind of an interesting position that he seems to get into a lot. Here he gets back down to the edge again, does that quad pod, head on shoulder right away. He's just below this guy's shoulder. He's not letting his chin slip over top where the guy can get underneath him to get leverage. Here we see guy try to go hooks. Again, he's constantly trying to get his elbows back so the guy can't extend his arms. And we can see that the attacking wrestler is just kind of at a loss for what to do here. All right. Right here he's on one knee. And then the ref stands him up. Right? Here's another scenario. Here, guy's got both his wrists. He's backing him down to the edge. Grounds himself in the zone. Head on collarbone. Continues to get pushed back and just has supreme edge awareness. And I think this clip also might show it. So there you see the guy try to push him, make a big lunge to push him out. And when that happens, he just lets his butt go back to his heels, keeps his toes in the mat, and just gives just enough pressure back so that he doesn't get pushed out, right? Guy goes 2 hands to one side, trying to do something, and then Valiev starts to recover. So heads on this side, typically, that's the side you're going to have to circle. It's going to be away from opponent's head or toward your head side, right? Here he rotates into his own kind of front headlock. And then just look at this awareness. So as soon as he doesn't take any steps backwards when he rotates up. Right? So he rotates up, toes in the mat, and then instead of stepping back and then around, he hops both feet in a circle, and again, still in bounds, and is able to circle back in. It's pretty wild how good he is at not getting scored on over here. I mean, here's just another example of him getting back down the edge, and we know that the Iranians are really good at this edge position with underhooks and things like that. Here we see him getting a dogfight with this guy, and then just knowing what the guy's going to try and do and being ready to react is just hyper important if you're going to wrestle on the edge like this. All right, so he gets back down with his hook. Once they get to the edge, we see... So in order to not get lifted and stepped out, I believe that Valiev made the decision to start to try and circle back in early and just try to put in a dogfight and go out of bounds, grounded. All right, so here we see the guy start to lift. When that lift happens, he turns the position side by side into dogfight and then wrestles from here. All right, so here he grounds himself again, and now they're on the edge. Just one of the places to be aware of if you're grounding yourself on the edge like this. All right, and then here we see guy tries to limp arm at some point right here. As he limp arms, we're going to see Valiev stay grounded and swim his overhook hand back inside between their bodies. And then just allow himself to go out of bounds. Because who cares? No points. If he does get put in a front headlock and gets back down to the edge, he does have some options, this being one of them. Simple little drag out. All right, he's got elbow control, feels himself moving to the edge, grounds himself, and as he does, so as this far foot, as he drops to that knee, he's going to extend the guy backwards. So his knee goes backwards and to the side he's dragging. He drops backwards, moves toward that side he's dragging. We see the hand come up the tricep, rotates his head out. I really like this detail, actually. So here they're like shoulder to shoulder, or even even the attacking wrestler's shoulder is on top of his. When he goes to drag, he gets his shoulder almost on top of the attacking wrestlers. That gives him a little more length and makes this guy slip across. If your shoulder's in the way, kind of hard to grab. And then circles, runs his drag down, finishes. This is actually worst case scenario for the attacking wrestler. Tries to hustle behind, gets his legs grabbed, and gets forward. right? So he gets back down to the edge. Again, grounds himself right before the zone. Drops. Starts to get toward the edge. Toes go on the mat. Again, he's kind of spring-loaded himself here. He's almost like compressed a spring so that he can move back out, right? So here we see a guy trying to figure out what to do, and he's just being patient, right? Being patient, ready for the reaction. When the guy tries to jump around behind, he just lifts that same side arm up, catches his leg, circles back in, just transitions to double, and picks the dude up. Right? So this is one of the reasons guys on the edge like get nervous to try and score if you're facing the center. If you're red wrestler here, like trying to run behind here is almost just a loss of position a lot of the time. Because you circle, you either get your legs caught or they just circle back in. And then here, even if he doesn't score his double leg, step out, right? So if you're looking for kind of how to score on the edge like that, I would say Hidley is probably one of the guys to watch. I remember seeing, I don't remember what tournament it was. It was one where he wrestled David Taylor. Don't remember what tournament it was. But he instead of like trying to hustle around, was like doing this crazy jump over top thing and scoring. It's pretty nice. Speaking of jumping over top, here we see Kinchadze kind of try to jump over top. Again, same stuff. Puts himself on the edge. Look, there's short time left. Not a bad plan, as long as you don't give up one or caution one. See him try to jump over, gets his leg caught, and then time runs out. All right. So here gets him to the edge, trying to figure out what to do. Probably looks at the time right there. And then he's like, okay, fine. Tries to jump. As soon as Valiev feels the pressure release, so he's got weight on his head right now. As soon as he feels the pressure release, he also comes up. Right? Pressure releases, starts to wrestle up, catches the legs, and then is kind of in a good spot here to ride the rest of the match out. This will happen some as well. Here again, grounds himself, toes in the mat, butt on heels. He has developed some kind of feeling here where he is very comfortable in this position. In general, going butt to heels is not a good place to move from. All right, guy tries to go around, misses outside leg, grabs inside leg, or between his legs, high crotch. Right, and then stalemates the position out. All right, so just waiting, being patient. As soon as this guy steps around, gets his arm beat by this knee, so grabs this leg instead, and then just holds on. Right, again, there's short time left here. Also, referees blow this position up pretty quick in freestyle. This clip is wild. Again, on the edge, grounds himself. Here he's stuck underneath the guy. Guy steps in and try and like chest wrap, defends, then goes high crotch, then low single, and then guy tries to like crotch lift, re-high crotch, whatever. And it gets, time runs out. Not stalemated, time runs out. Right, so here, okay. So we see guy go chest wrap. He steps in like he's going to try and chest wrap him or expose him. All right. Now, still grounded. All right. Now, this foot's in the mat. His other leg starts to come off the mat. All right. We see this one start to come off the mat. This one, knee's already off the mat. So he's technically no longer grounded. All right, but when this foot comes back down, watch where it goes. All the way back in bounds, which is a wild motion to make. And actually, this is crazy. Okay, I didn't notice this before, but his arms are crossed. This is his right hand. This is his left hand. They're crossed. I mean, this dude's got a tight chest wrap. All right. But when this foot swings back in and he hits his butt, still in bounds, we can see where this guy's weight goes. Starts to rotate over top. And here you can see the arm cross. This is crazy. All right. Steps in, hits his butt, makes the off balance, and then the dude has to recover, plants his hand, let's go chest wrap. And then Valiev recovers back to his knees. All right, and then there's short time here. So one last little piece. Guy tries to go like re-high crotch lock. Valiev crosses his feet so he can't pull this leg out. Kind of funny. But again, short time left. Just kind of holding on here. But what a wild sequence. These last two are some of my favorite ones. All right, so he gets back down to the edge. And then the guy releases pressure and he goes like duck under in both cases. Little different position. But here we see in this first one, guy backs him down to the edge. Lots of pressure coming forward. I mean, just look where his feet are compared to his chest. I mean, lots of pressure and lean. Valiev gets elbow control on that backside. And then boot scoots. You know, hits his hip a little bit. Pulls his arm right over top. Goes head in the armpit. This gives him the chance to start to circle back in and or attack the guy. Comes up. Drives in. And gets the step out of his zone. Right? So he feels that pressure in. Takes it over top. And then scores. He's kind of plays possum on the edge a little bit. It's pretty wild. So here's similar. Gets put on the edge, grounded. Guys like double hooks. Now he goes wrist. So we got wrist control here. We're going to see the same kind of thing happen. All right. He stays down. This guy starts to pressure a little bit, picks his hands up. Now we see the pressure come off. Valiev takes that wrist behind him and then ducks him. And then, boy, that would feel bad if you're attacking. All right. So, where's that second one? Right here. All right. So, again, guy pushes him down, goes to wrists. And then when he feels the pressure release or when he feels like he can get under his armpit, takes that hand behind his back in that motion and then ducks him.